Good evening, Brisbane, and welcome to another night here on The Window. My name's Steve, and I'm going to be your host for the evening. First, let's take a close look at what's on tonight's program. First of all, we're going to meet some of the people who live in this house. And then, we're going to cross over to our Australian icon, Jack. And last, but not least, we're going to find out which nationality wears this. Exciting stuff, huh? Now, ladies and gents, I want you to imagine that you have just stepped off an aeroplane in a country that's far, far away from your own. You've never been here before, and you know nobody. Daunting or what? In only a few days' time, you have to decide where you want to live. Amongst the many options, some people choose to stay in what's called a share house. And this evening, we're going to meet some young people who have chosen to do exactly that. But first, let's welcome our first guest, Adriana, to The Window. Pleased to meet you, Adriana.
Hi.
And welcome to the show. So, you live in Westella, a share house with 22 internationals, is that right?
Yes.
Blimey. Well, where do you get the idea to live in a place like that?
Well, actually, I'm from Canada, and I had no idea those kind of houses existed in Australia when I arrived in Australia. So I did this tour with my university. They show you all those different houses so you can find somewhere to stay.
Yep.
And finally, I saw that you could live with over 20 people. So I thought it was the best way to just meet people because you don't have friends.
Absolutely, and that's what you go overseas for, isn't it? You know, meet the people, experience the culture.
Yeah.
That seems like the perfect way to do it. So, how long have you been in Westella for?
I moved in Australia, in Westella, end of January. So it's been 4 months, but I was in another shared house before, 27 people.
27.
There were 21 rooms, but you could share rooms, so...
Wow, all right, 22 people, 27, and sharing rooms. I mean, how does that even work? These places must be massive.
Yeah, in Westella, there are 22 rooms, individual rooms, 4 kitchens, 1 living room, 1 huge balcony, and you can either have ensuite bathroom or common bathrooms, yeah.
All right, well, how many nationalities do you have all packed together in the one house?
At the moment, we're 14 different nationalities in the house. Just as an example, I live on the 2nd floor.
Yep.
We're 7 out of 22 on the 2nd floor. And just on my floor, there's someone from Colombia, Norway, France, United States, Germany, and Canada.
Wow. All right, well, with so many people all living in such a compact community, surely there must be some conflicts, problems. Like, what's the dirty goss?
The main issue would be obviously dirty dishes,
Oh, yes.
like in any shared accommodation. So, for example, I leave 1 plate, 1 glass, 1 fork, it's fine. But if we're 22 to leave 1 plate, 1 fork, 1 glass, there are a lot of dishes, a lot of dirty dishes. So now I'm a bit immune. It's been almost a year. So I toss the dishes on one side, I toss the ants on the other side, and I cook and eat
Just
in
eat around the ants.
Yeah. Also, obviously, the noise. Let's say 2 people invite 3 people and another person invites 5 people. There's a party.
That's a party.
So let's say I want to study, there'll be noise.
Yes, and that would be quite difficult, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. We have complaints because
Yeah.
of that.
A lot of complaints?
A lot of complaints. But on the other hand, for the party thing, let's say I feel like having a drink, I just open my door and there's a party.
Pre-made. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah.
Well, that must be a lot of fun then, just living in a situation where you can just find a party like that.
A lot of fun, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your insights in what it's like to live in a share house. Thank you so much, Adriana.
Thank you.
And now, stay tuned. Tonight, we're going to have even more people from the share house in Westella on the couch. Welcome, Victoire,
Yeah.
Randall, and Tori.
Good.
All right. So you 3 all live in the same share house, the one in Westella, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So what sort of things do you guys do there, for entertainment, to pass the time?
Basically party all the time.
Nice.
Yeah. But it was like the main point of being in a share house like that was just to
Party.
meet people and have fun with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do a lot of things together. Like, for example, there was this scavenger hunt in Brisbane when we had to form a team and dress up. So the girls in Westella, we decided to be avatars.
Sounds
So
like
we were the avatar
We were blue?
team, completely blue.
so
Body
an
paint?
avatar
Yeah.
scavenger hunt. That sounds like
Half
fun.
naked?
It was really great. Yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do smart things too as well. We got the Westella Film Festival. It's
Okay.
every Monday. Every nationality brings out a film representative of their country.
Nice. Who's had a really good film
Oh,
so far?
Singapore, definitely.
Yeah?
was
When
a
we
good
played the
film.
film, a Danish guy cried. Yeah. And we do
Oh.
trips as
Yeah,
well.
but it's not that
Yeah.
difficult to make him cry.
Oh, no, that's true. No, yeah, we do trips as well. Like
Yeah.
we go to Byron Bay or Gold Coast or, cinema
Yeah,
every Tuesday.
It's really nice.
All right, so that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Some international people say that Australians don't really mingle much. What's your opinion on this?
We don't actually have that many Australian friends,
Yeah,
like
no.
good friends.
But we feel like when we arrived, there were already groups of friends,
Yeah.
and they couldn't really understand what we were going through.
And then we're put
Okay.
together as well, like, because
Okay.
like especially if we're just a semester, yeah.
So it
we're
might just be
put
a,
together.
a notion conceived from the situation that you're
Yeah.
all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So have you, while we're on the topic of Australians, have you noticed us Aussies have any weird habits or, strange things that we do that you've picked up
Oh,
on?
definitely. Barefooted.
Yeah.
Aussies walking around on the street.
Nobody cares.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
cold.
funny.
Yeah.
Nobody needs shoes.
And there's always this thing that I find it so weird, is that Australian people are really friendly, but really, really too much sometimes.
Okay.
I mean, when you're going into shops or supermarket, they're always asking about your
Yeah.
life, like
Yeah.
how was your day? Are you busy today?
And we're not used to that.
Yeah, no, we're
you know?
not.
I'm more
So
like,
used-
hi, here's my money.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly. I don't know what to answer. I'm always
is that an Australian thing then?
yeah, it is. I think.
Okay,
then
I
you
had
ha-
no idea.
And then
But
you
it's
have
good.
these weird,
Slang.
slangs, g'day or arvo.
Yep.
I had no idea.
I
It took me like 3-4 weeks to know what arvo meant. I thought they were talking about drink or something. I know, arvo. I don't
All
know.
right. Well,
So.
I had Adriana on the show earlier, and we had a bit of a chat. And well, I've got here in this book a list of all of the complaints about you guys in the past 3 months. Pretty big book, don't you think?
Yeah.
So, could you explain why there's so many complaints about you guys?
She likes to put up notices.
Yeah,
The
big bold
landlord.
letters,
Yeah.
underline.
Okay.
This is unacceptable.
This kitchen looks like a mess.
So it's the landlord is the problem. Then.
Well, it's a bit of both, I guess.
But
You know,
what does
she
she
has very
expect?
strict rules.
Like really, she put 22 international students together that came to Australia to have fun.
And then she tells us we're not allowed to have parties.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna have parties.
you
know?
rebels. All right. Well, let's check in on our Aussie legend, Jack. As always, he's got some interesting facts from around the world. And when we come back, our residents are going to take on the Share House quiz. Over to you, Jack.
G'day. I'd like to present to you a couple of interesting tidbits of information about the weird and quirky cultures of other countries. Hopefully this might give us a bit of an insight into the people that are unfortunate enough not to come from Australia, this great land. I know it might be difficult for us to comprehend because we've got everything we could ever possibly want here right at our doorstep, but some people actually try to leave their own country. As you all know, Australia is one of the most popular, if not the most popular country in the world. In 2010, over 450,000 students from other countries came to enrol and study here in Australia alone. Now that's in comparison to 900 in Iceland, but that's somewhere in Europe. Doesn't really count, really, does it? In Montreal, the temperature can go down to low as minus 37 degrees, and you'd wonder why they're even staying there in the first place with that kind of temperature. Icicles, anyone? Now, to France, where the most dangerous animal is a goat. Not to mention London. Now, London, I think they're the bee's knees. The royal family and Big Ben and oh, it's raining. Someone please give me an umbrella. I'm going to get wet. When a real flood happens, give us a call, because then you're really going to get friggin' wet, all right? Wankers. Fucking wankers. Recently, someone wrote into us about Scandinavians. They wanted to know whether are they all blonde? And I can tell you, as a matter of fact, yes, they are blonde, both physically and mentally. In France, they have this pretty lemonade. It's called Champagne. You might have heard about it. Now, I don't know, apparently it's big over there or something. At least they've got a good sense of humour because they tried to call it a wine.
What did you say? You're talking about wine, but you don't know anything. France has the best wine in the world.
No, it's not.
Ah, mais bien sûr que si.
And now for the real sports. And when I say real sports, I don't mean any of that pansy, puffy soccer or handball.
What are you talking about? Soccer? It's called football in the real world. Just because you don't know how to play football, so you made up your own rule. And in a wrong field?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah,
AFL,
okay.
a cute combination
Yeah,
of volleyball and football. Just play in a very gay way. N'importe quoi, en plus c'est
she'd
tous
know
des
about
pédés
gay,
dans cette, c'est tous
Miss
des
Marcel
pédés dans cette
Marceau
histoire.
over
And
here.
raining in London, and you
French
the best
women
country
arguing with
in
me.
the world, my
It's not like the French would want to argue with anyone. They'd rather surrender. They'd rather, please, the Nazis are coming. Let's bow down.
Well, thanks for that, Jack. It was very informative. And now for the quiz. All right, the rules are very simple. There are 8 questions. The one who gets the answer right first gets a point. The one with the most points at the end wins a prize. And this is a fan-bloody-tastic prize, fellas. So, you ready, my friends?
Let's go.
Yes.
Okay. First question. In which country can you get the world's biggest hamburger?
USA.
Germany.
Correct, the USA. Which country has the Guinness World Record where a man was wearing 227
It's gotta be
t-shirts at
America.
the same time?
It's gotta be America.
Belgium.
Correct,
Of course,
Belgium.
Belgium.
Which country holds the record for a man holding the most ferrets in his trousers?
What?
Sweden.
Ferrets in his trap.
Japan?
I'm gonna have to pass over you there. The answer is England, Yorkshire, in fact. Now, what year was the first Crocodile Dundee premiering?
1986.
Correct,
know
well
that.
done. How many varieties of sausages do they have in Germany? A, 300, B, 900, C, 1500, or D, 3000?
3,000.
Correct, 1500. Now, you must have an opinion on this, don't you, Jack?
Before you can cross the road and driving on the left side, mais bien sûr, ils peuvent pas faire comme
That's the
tout le
side
monde, ces petits
that,
connards d'Australiens.
speaking gibberish
And-
now.
Oh, this fucking
Now, which country gets the most amount of tourists in a year?
France.
Correct.
Yes.
Of course it's gonna be
Now,
French.
which,
Whatever.
do you remember this picture?
Yep.
Which nationality wears this suit?
China.
No.
Russia.
Correct, Russia.
How-
Well done. Okay, isn't this exciting, guys? Now we're up to the last question. You ready?
The last one.
The last question.
I'm gonna
This
lose.
question is, how many liters of vodka, on average, does your average Russian drink per year?
A lot.
4 liters, 14 liters, 24 liters, or 44 liters?
44.
44.
44.
Correct!
C'est
Randall?
n'importe quoi. Elle est débile cette question. Mais toi aussi t'es débile.
Congratulations, Randall. Here's your.
Celui-là.
What?
No, but stop. Okay, stop it. You know what? It's a small competition and it's small cake. And you're
Well,
so small.
thank you for joining us tonight here on The Window. It has been interesting, and remember to tune in next week where I can reveal we will have a guest who eats only foods starting with the letter A. Now back to the real world, my name is Steve Merwin, and you've been watching The Window. Now it's over to you, Jack.
What is it with you anyway? Come here, you don't speak your language. You speak
You
Australian.
talk English,
You
that's
speak
why
Australian
you're
here.
worried.
Australia.
You speak
Hey,
Spanish.
what is this? A beret? A beret? The French people are bad at... Get a baguette up here.